A message to the genocide makers and their supporters. A message to Germany, France, England, America, and a few more countries. A letter not to your citizens, but a letter to your political establishments and its supporters. In the language of my colonizers, a message summarized in 2 words: fuck you. I would like to clarify that there is no erotic symbolism in my statement. There is nothing I find attractive about you. Fuck you and fuck your military industries, fuck your double standards, and fuck the moral preaching, and fuck your history of violence. Fuck you, period. Now, there are other ways I can make this statement. I could use language you would describe as more civilized, but I refuse to play this game with you. I simply do not see you as civilized. I see you as a savage, armed with overpowering technologies. So, fuck you. As you can see, I can speak your language, but you don't seem to speak mine. And your military strategies also show that you don't seem to understand us. You actually think you can break us. Fuck you. If there is any metaphor here in my fuck you, it is in the fact that your civil societies are gradually witnessing our realities. So symbolically, it would be that your people are slowly being impregnated with our truth. This is happening through the technologies you have built. Here, technically, it would be more accurate for me to say, go fuck yourselves. But this is not necessary. You have been fucking yourselves for a long time now. Your economies are dependent on your military industries. Your multinational companies have co-opted your politicians to the point that they do not serve your people. You simply don't own yourselves. That's the culture your citizens have been inheriting all along. We, people of our globe, see you pretending to care about the safety of Jews, but we see you arresting Jewish citizens, even Israeli ones that demonstrate and say, not in our name, Israel does not represent us. We witness your media censorship. Your no anti-Semitism means it's forbidden to criticize the genocidal actions of the State of Israel. We see you eroding the freedoms of speech your forefathers have built for the sake of Israel. Yet with all your efforts, the emperors are slowly being disrobed, one garment at a time. Your double standards stand out more than ever. You pretend to be Christian while you fund the State of Israel in its genocidal plans to annihilate the Palestinian people. Palestine, is the birthplace of Jesus, and the Palestinians the guardians of his heritage. But Jesus of Nazareth bears no resemblance to your Jesus. You took the image of Jesus and kept on changing it. You bleached his skin white. You turned his eyes blue and then gave him blonde hair. But you didn't stop there. You kept on twisting his image until you employed him as a sales rep for your military industries. You also pretend to love Jews when your history shows otherwise. If you loved Jewish people, you would have kept them. Instead, you have exported your hate and racism and created a long-term geopolitical scheme in the form of a colonial state. Germany, France, England, and a few other European countries. Israel is your illegitimate child, both in the literal sense, the literal legal sense, and the symbolic sense. Israel is European Jews exiled and armed with the darkness of your history, illegitimate by you disowning them instead of embracing them. You even co-opted your parental duties. You are not the sole parent of Israel today. The full parental custody, the main babysitter, the sugar daddy, goes to America, a country built over the bodies of its natives, A country built by the genocide of displaced Africans, still experiencing racism today. Legally illegitimate, because no amount of twisting of laws can make apartheid legal. And yet, you want to label any form of resistance as terrorism. This is the history of all colonizing powers. A child using simple math can show that the one who builds the biggest weapons is the biggest terrorist. And nobody beats America at terrorism. And nobody makes Daddy more proud than the State of Israel. You all have invested so much in making your child look noble. But today, global phones show what Israel does. We see dismembered bodies of children, women, and men. We see Palestinian reporters, medics, and intellectuals murdered systematically. We know thousands are under the rubbles. Reports of women and children sexually assaulted and raped in Israeli prisons are on the increase. Mass graves, hands tied, bodies stripped, missing organs. A population slowly being starved to death. This child of Europe, parented and protected by America, is now a fully developed psychopath, admitting in their political arenas and their mainstream medias that they love genocide. Yet, you still want to tell us, all of us, that what we see is not what we see. Here in Beirut, street garbage bins don't have lids. Our garbage stinks. One thing we do not do, though, is perfume our garbage. Our political corruption is wide open. I'm curious to see just how much shit you think you can perfume. I may not follow any organized religion, but today I'm Jesus' disciple at the temple, pointing directly at you, calling you out. You are not Christians. You are the sons and daughters of the merchants we kicked out 2,000 years ago. Since then, your lineage has grown mighty, but there has never been a time in the history of humanity like today with so many souls across the globe connected. Every time I see a Palestinian, I grow. I remember I'm not just Lebanese. I'm an Arab. Every time I see a social media post by one of your citizens exposing your crimes, standing with Palestine, I grow again. I remember I'm human. Today I'm stretched out. South Africa reminds me I have brothers and sisters I have not met. Today I'm Irish. Today I'm Japanese from Hiroshima. I'm a Native American. I'm Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, and James Baldwin reminding you, I am not your Negro. My fuck you is Frantz Fanon telling you, you never managed to colonize my mind. Fuck you is not an insult. That won't even scratch you. Fuck you means that you can break our bodies, but not our spirits. And fuck you defines the limits of your rhetoric. There is no language that can describe what Israel does. There is no language that can describe your protection and arming of Israel. This cannot be defended. This cannot be intellectualized. There is only fuck you. So, fuck you.